Sosha ubaba wa introduce a concept here, two birds of the same feather flock together. This is whereby Sosha we look for abantu abakhuluma the same language, African gospel as ubaba prophet. So during our research, see African hidden voices, yes, athola another African American preacher, this time Sosha uyi Muslim. So le preacher le Sosha uyachaza ukuthi njengoba abelungu they came with the education system enkonzweni nakubefundisi. Uyachaza kahle kahle ukuthi this education system ayidingeki, which is theology, because if umuntu omoya there is no need for you to go and study. So uyachaza kuleyo video ukuthi njengoba abantu bayile bayofunda kahle kahle bona they were made preachers of the white men. Njengoba abelungu siyazi ukuthi bayenza ama-robots ukuthi a-satisfy bona mhlawumbe ayenza i-robot lokuthi lizomklinela endlini. So kahle kahle lama preachers akhona afunde i-theology, they are more like robots to abelungu. So ngicela ukuthi siyibukele Sosha, sizocela input after i-video. I-video is just 12 minutes. Siyabonga.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, the originator of the heavens and the earth and all that is between. We thank Allah, the Most High, for His prophets and messengers and the scriptures which they brought. We thank Him for Moses and the Torah. We thank Him for Jesus and the gospel. We thank Him for Muhammad and the Holy Quran. Peace be upon these worthy servants of Allah. I am a student of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I could never thank Allah enough for preparing me through him to be his helper. What a wonderful thing to be given an assignment to help a man whom God has given the hardest job of any man that ever lived. And men have been living in this universe for trillions of years. But the hardest job is to take a people who are the people of God that were kidnapped and brought on a westerly course through the transatlantic slave trade and made other than themselves, so much so that they are reflectors of the mind and spirit of their captors. And the people that captured us was the devil himself. No spirit kidnapped us. No spirit robbed us. No spirit enslaved us. But the spirit of rebellion to God manifest in flesh. We were not permitted to pray to our God. We were not permitted to say our prayers in the original language of our prayers. Anyone that said the name Allah was killed. So the song that our fathers sang, couldn't hear nobody pray, because it meant death to hear us pray like we were taught, that has been with us, not from the time of Muhammad, but before Abraham was. I thank Allah so much. When my teacher said these words to me, he said, "Brother, I did not make you." And of course I said, "Oh, yes, you did, dear apostle." He said it again. "Brother, I did not make you." And I, not liking to hear what he said, I said, "Oh, yes, you did." Who is the teacher here? He said. So I know I'm the student, so I shut up to listen to my teacher. He said, "Brother, I gave you the same teaching that I gave everyone else. I never took you off in some private setting to teach you. Only Allah could have shown you how to put the teachings together in the way that you do." Then he said it for the fourth time. "I did not make you, brother. Allah made you for me." A wise teacher tries his students. To see if the student is worthy for higher manifestation of truth. And after Brother Malcolm left him, he said, "Brother, I will never teach another minister like I taught Brother Malcolm. Because if I did not teach him so much of the prophecies, he could not have been so formidable an enemy." So he looked at me and said, I will not teach another until I have thoroughly tried him. If you've been under a grandmaster in the art of self-defense, they teach you wonderful ways to defend and protect yourself. And sometimes you might think that you're equal to your teacher. So they put you in a little grip that have you tapping real quick. That means I've reached the threshold of my pain. Please don't apply anymore. When God is making a man for his service, he doesn't make it easy on that man. He tries him to the nth degree of his ability to withstand pain. And when he has brought him to a level of tolerance for that level of pain, he devises another trial to bring him greater pain until sometime the student will think that the master is trying to hurt him, trying to harm him, trying to discourage him. But the master is making him now to go up against the one who gives every prophet of God pain, and that is Satan himself. If you are a student of Jesus Christ and you love him and admire him because of what God put him through, as a father, you would not do that to your son. No matter how hard you are as a man, nothing in you would permit you to give your son what God gave Jesus. When you're about to come up against the one who has destroyed the communities of the prophets of God, so that as a Christian you do not appear Christ-like. You appear more demonic-like than Christ-like. Now we're going to deal with something today. You have been so devoured by Satan that you think that your worship of God in the mosque, in the synagogue, in the temple, in the church, in the cathedral, actually has you on the road to heaven. But everywhere you look, in your churches, in your mosques, in your cathedrals, in your organizations, in your shrine, you find trouble and troubled people in authority over you. These are your people. They look just like you. Out of their mouths come words, I love you. But when you work for our people, if your love is not stronger than their hate, they will break you down. That is how powerful the enemy is. That before you can fight the enemy, you have to fight your own kind, your own people, your own family. I loved my teacher so I never looked at what he was doing to me. I began to understand what he was doing for me. Some of you have been watching me for a long, long time. And your mouths have been like a viper's poison. In the way you have spoken of your brother. You did the same thing to the Honorable Mosiah Marcus Garvey. You did the same thing to Noble Drew Ali. You did the same thing to Chief Malik, to the brother who made you a disciple, even though he said gangster disciple. He came out of that a long time ago. I'm talking about Brother Barksdale. He was always, leadership always has to try to bring you beyond the sick condition of our minds. So Jesus had to endure much. He had wonderful disciples, but they were trifling. Any resemblance to any person living or dead is not a coincidence. Who's going to sit at the right hand? I ain't sitting at the left. They come late and want to go right up front and sit. So Jesus said, hey, stop it. When you come late, take a seat in the back. and let us call you up. I'm not speaking of my wife. Anytime she comes, it's a blessing. For me and for you. But I'm talking about an attitude in people that they want to be seen, so they must never be on time. I have a wonderful pastor sitting down in front of me, and I know that this brother understands everything that I'm saying because God has blessed him to live it. When you are a servant of God, He will try you in ways and your rational mind will say that the trial is irrational. Your rational mind will say, what's going on with God? Let me give you an example. Abraham was getting up in age and he wanted a son. His poor wife, Sarah, advanced in age. She wasn't able to give him a son. So the scripture says he went into the handmaiden, who was a handmaiden of his wife Sarah, and she bore him a son. The Quran calls him Ishmael. Then Sarah bore him a son called Isaac. And God made a covenant with both those children. I just want to make a point. God cannot try you except by what you love. And all of us love our life. So the hardest thing God can ask you to do is give up your life for the truth. Isn't it wonderful how we all talk about our love for God, but we are unwilling to sacrifice for His pleasure? I didn't intend to say that this morning, but this is the way Allah is guiding me. God said to Abraham, take your son up on the mountain, and I want you to sacrifice him for me. For me. My God, Abraham been looking for the boy. Now, God is the only one who could give you the boy, not your wife. Allah says, I created you in the womb. not your mother, not your father, because your mother didn't know what was going on until 30 days later when she missed her cycle and she had nothing to do with the sperm meeting the egg and becoming the first cell of life, then looking for a firm resting place in the darkness of the womb, because the nature of the old life is to push out the new life because it's a foreign entity. So the new cell of life has to fasten itself on to the walls of the uterus to stay there and grow. What mother, which one of you that was pregnant said, well, now I think it's time for me to make a clot? How many of you did that? No. You went somewhere and the doctor told you, well, it's just forming now. It's a clot. Hold on, eat well, drink well, think well, and your child will evolve. But who was the master of the evolutionary process? It was not you, mother. It was not you, father. It was the Creator who said, I, as only He can say I created you. Then think about who you are. If it was God who created you in the womb of your mother, then by right, you belong to Him. The life that you have, you did not give it to yourself. One of the attributes of God is He's the life giver. There's only one. So everything that comes to birth owes something to the giver. You owe to your father honor. You owe to your mother honor. But to God, you owe your all. Not to a government, not to a flag, not to a king, not to a ruler. You owe it all. That's what makes you God's child. But if your mother doesn't know truth, she can't teach you who you owe your life to. Look at you. Seated in front of me are men and women of great accomplishments. Sitting in front of me are men and women who at some point in their life discovered they had a gift. That God never created a human being and didn't give that human being a bit of Himself. God never created anything halfway. Incomplete, like I messed up that time. No, you messed up. God is the most excellent of creators. Everything that he created, the bird, the bee, the flea, the amoeba, is perfect in that state of its development. So when you sing and you marvel at the beauty of your voice, that's his gift to you. I notice after the white man fixes your mind in such a sick way that you're a rapper and you're calling your women out of their names, you're talking about you gonna bust a cap in somebody behind, as though you are the creator of that one that you're talking about killing. When you discover your gift and you develop it and exploit it, and people start praising you for your gift, do you ever think about the giver? Do you ever think about the debt of gratitude you owe to the one who has given you your gift? Why would you use your gift then in a way that dishonors the giver? Some of you are beautiful women beyond the word beauty. Your forms are magnificent. That's yours. Why you got to show it? No. I want you to listen to me today. The beauty of your form does not belong on display in a world of sick-minded men. You make a dog out of the man. Well, you say, well, he should be able to have some control or some discipline. Yeah, right. And you know, once you show him what you show him, you waiting for him to lose control. To know God is to have the key to joy and peace and long life. And to know God and to serve him is to justify your existence in the universe that he created for you. Now you came here, you didn't create nothing. It was already here for you and me and us. The sun didn't stop shining just because you got here. It kept growing food out of the earth so you could eat it and grow. God has always been giving to his creatures. But the Quran says over and over again, little it is that men give thanks. So my teacher, Elijah Muhammad, was preparing me for the time that he was not going to be here. He needed a helper that loved him enough that he would keep his work going. Not in the name of the helper, but in the name of the God who created and made the helper for the most important man in the drama. That's the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now, Brother Malcolm was my predecessor, and he was my mentor. I could not have had a better teacher than Brother Malcolm. For me, I can't speak for nobody else. I loved him to the point that love will take you to when you love deep enough, you'll give your life for what you love. I would have given my life at any time for Brother Malcolm, because to me, he was the greatest helper of the man that I loved, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Something happens with students and teachers. Every teacher would love to take the student through to graduation. But sometimes you get upset with the teacher, walk out of the classroom like you hurting the teacher. You have to know or believe or trust that your teacher is trying to make you more than what you could make yourself. Though the messenger said, I didn't make you, but he gave all the material there. But I want to come to the most important aspect of my journey. We don't love deep enough. Our love is based on what can you do for me? And when it appears that you can't do any more, the love is gone. The bond is broken. The word that you give to your teacher don't mean anything. But we were taught, have not you learned that your word shall be bond, regardless of whom or what? And the answer to all of the students, my word is my bond. And bond is life. And I will give my life before my word shall fail. How many of you started on the journey and broke your word and blamed the teacher or somebody else, and you ran out of the class after you had passed kindergarten? And went out in the world, and the life that you once had, you threw it away. Because when you leave Muhammad, no place for you to go but back to the world of the white man, the very Satan of your life. All my predecessors broke their word with Muhammad. They became great men, but swallowed by Satan. Why would Satan give Brother Malcolm a stamp of a government that Malcolm condemned? Because he had gone back to the world. So the world took brother and used him against the rise of his brother that he mentored. Oh yeah. Everyone that turns away becomes a tool of Satan, knowingly or unknowingly. A lot of you brothers got the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but you don't give honor to the teacher. You take from his knowledge to make a way for yourself. But that was not the purpose. But you made it your purpose. See, your vanity, your short life, wanting the material goods of a world that is decadent and God is going to destroy it, but you gave up. You gave up on something that would have made you a God. I was with a great preacher one day, and he said to me, he said, "Farrakhan, I'm a bad nigga." And let me tell you, he's one of the greatest we got. But he was trying to impress me of how bad he was. I'm a bad nigga. And I said, brother, I said, Jesus doesn't make niggas. Niggers are the product of white people. Well, why do you want to stay where the white man puts you? Ain't you tired of being a nigger? Ain't you tired of being a low-life, lying, crooked, stealing, gambling freak? Of course you're tired. You're not locked in a cage that you can't get out of. You're not locked in a state of mind that you can't rise above. Your mind is like a lock, but God gave Elijah the key. And one day he asked me to make a subject. Call on this man, have I laid the key? I did 3 broadcasts and he said, well, you haven't got it right yet. But move on, move on. He was trying to help me to see. As bad, as strong, and as weak as Peter was, Jesus gave him the key. So in the end, I fell like Peter. For 30 months, I was in denial that Elijah Muhammad was in fact the messenger of God. How did you get like that? When you think you're strong. Peter thought he was strong. When you think you can't be moved. When you become so arrogant in your profession of faith that you feel that Satan can't get to you. You're a prime candidate. One day I was with my teacher. I gotta keep talking about my teacher. He said, brother, you made a great preaching at Boston University to 500 preachers. Some of them are my worst enemies. Wait a minute, there are preachers in the house. I gotta fix that up. See, when you're made by the white man into a preacher, he ain't making you for Jesus. He's making you for himself. Just bear with me, because most of us as preachers, we've been made by the white man. He give you a degree, call you a doctor of divinity, and you happy. You know who I am? You want my number? and then you preach a gospel that makes your enemy happy. But God is not happy when you preach a gospel that you claim is the gospel of Jesus Christ, but Jesus didn't know nothing about it. Jesus never preached Christianity. Listen, if I upset you, I'm not trying to upset you. But Christianity is a white man's made-up religion. Wait a minute. Where did Christianity start? Didn't start where Jesus was teaching. What was the Council of Nice like, where a Nicene Creed was evolved in 325 AD? Who gave you the cross? Who taught you that the cross was your salvation? Jesus didn't say that. Constantine had a vision one night. Constantine was a white man who became Caesar of Rome. He had a vision. And in that vision, he saw a cross with these Latin words under it, in hoc signo vinces, meaning with this sign we conquer. So the white man came, gave you the Bible, gave you the cross, conquered your land, took your resources, and took your mind. The messenger said, if Christianity was a wet rag and you wrung it out, every drop would write slavery. Wait, I'm not trying to hurt your feeling. I'm trying to free you from that which you have an idea something is wrong with what you preaching. Old people in the church getting the Holy Ghost. Young people in the street smoking loud. But it looked like your preaching of the Holy Ghost got you more doped up than the young man in the street with a reefer that has been weaponized. What you're teaching started in Rome, not in Jerusalem. You say, well, wait a minute, Farrakhan. There's so much good in what I... Yes, of course. Satan can't trick you unless he give you something good, then twist, turn. You've been mastered by the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And you've been biting that fruit. So today you're so confused. Up is down, and down is up. Right is wrong. Wrong is right. Truth is a lie, and the lie is the truth. And you're on your way to heaven? Are you sure? I'm going to try and wrap this. The teacher knew he was leaving us. Some of his secretaries said that they saw him sometimes at the dining room table and he was weeping. So much so till the tears lapped under his chin. And some of his secretaries asked him, "Dear Apostle, why are you crying?" And they tell me that his answer was, "I'm not crying for me. I'm crying for you and what I see coming to you after me." What did he see coming? Some of his great laborers are here. We had a great laborers conference in September of 1964 in the old mosque. The messenger said, it would be a cutting off of the Messiah in the book of Daniel. Go read it. And then he asked the question, he talked about the abomination that brings desolation standing in the holy place. Do you know what that means? He asked me. I said, "No, sir, I don't know." He said, "It means when hatred stands in the holy place, that is the abomination that will bring about the desolation and the cutting off of the Messiah." That was 42 years ago. How could you hate Master Farrakhan Muhammad? What did he do to make any of you former followers? What did he do to make you hate him? Everything that Elijah Muhammad gave us came from him. Your problem was you denied revelation for the scholarship of Arabs. What Elijah Muhammad gave us, you couldn't find it. It was revelation. It was that was kept back from the wise and the prudent man and revealed unto babes. You're going to bring a scholar to argue with what God revealed. Just think of how stupid that is. You know who I am? I'm a scholar. You can't take revelation? You don't think that God would reveal something to us that the world had never heard? Listen, how could God take the bottom rail and bring it to the top? Take the tail and make it the head. How could he do that unless he gave you something that the world did not have? Under that scholarship, I fell. Jesus said to Peter, he said, Peter, I have prayed for you. Wow. That your faith will not fail you altogether. Meaning your faith is going to fail you, but the fail won't be all together. He said, but when you have recovered, it's like a blow that you wasn't expecting. You didn't see it coming, and it knocked you down. But he said, when you have recovered, go. Look at the word, go and strengthen your brethren. Then Jesus told him, before the cock crows once, you're going to deny me thrice. See the Jesus you've been looking for? You look right past him. You're looking for a man that walked 2,000 years ago, but the Jesus you're looking for was raised right up from among you. You can take it or leave it alone. I intend to prove it. Jesus 2,000 years ago was a prophet. He never taught no multitudes. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the most that Jesus ever taught was 35 Jews, 35 people. Well, who is this Jesus that was teaching the multitudes? I don't think you got a preacher that could call 1 million and 2 million showed up. That looked like a multitude to me. And he didn't call 1 million one time. He called it 3 times. Then I'm asking you, what God do you know that is blessing the minister? How many eyes have been opened by his teachings? Do you know that the minister is known and loved all over the world? Do you know that wherever I go in the world, they bow to the majesty of the wisdom of Elijah Muhammad that's coming from my mouth? Who's feeding me? I've been talking to you for over an hour. I haven't even opened my notes. I don't really use them. Who's feeding your brother? Don't you realize that something is happening? God ain't no spook or spirit. He's real. And if he wants to feed me, I don't need no book to read. You go on and read your books. I'm not saying that there's nothing in the books, but every book that you read, there's about that much truth if the book is that big. This is real. He made me to withstand. Have you known another black man that has been marked as the enemy of the Jews and the government? My lawyer is here. He knows that we are under investigation by every branch of the government. Do I look like I'm afraid? Is my shield. When I first believed that Elijah Muhammad was not dead, it was 3 years after I started the work. And on our first Savior's Day, 1981, my lawyer was there. And I said to the audience, Elijah Muhammad is not dead, he's alive. Oh my God. Some of my friends left me. Some of my ministers wouldn't preach no more with me. My nationalist friends who helped me, they said, now, Farrakhan is I won't say the word, he's a GD liar. That nigga know that Elijah's dead. And he around here talking about Elijah's alive. Okay, OJ. You believe Jesus is alive. Wait. Well, are you insane for believing that a man who was here 2,000 years ago and was killed by his enemies, and some of them saw him going up in the clouds, but he's coming back? That's your belief. So don't be mad at me. My man just left 42 years ago. So if I'm crazy, we need to put all of you in an insane asylum today. Now look, being faithful to your teacher when your teacher is not present to judge you, so you think. I've had people that were in the family. I should say the name, but I won't. Tell me you don't need his baggage. You're a leader in your own right. Nobody else brought millions to Washington but you. You don't need him. When I first got started, some of my helpers, they were Christians at the time, but they were helping me. They said, Farrakhan, Elijah got a lot of baggage. Why don't you would make faster progress if you put that baggage down. Now, they meant well. They meant well. But if I were a thief, and I got something from Elijah and started preaching it, and then tried to take the credit for myself, what kind of character is that I have? Like a lot of you will plagiarize, you don't give a damn where you got it. I got it. But I don't bother. My people around me, my helpers, they would say, look, minister, they got you up on YouTube. They got you. Everything you did is right up there. And the Final Call can't make $1 from selling your tapes and whatnot, because it's up there for free. And I laugh. I don't laugh at them. I laugh to myself. You could have made $1 if you worked. You had it first and slept. So don't get angry with YouTube, because my mission was not to sell the word. My mission was to give the word. The word belongs to the people that God came to give that word to. Now, the believers, you all got to help me with this now. Because some of you were with me when we bought the Final Call building on 79th Street. I said we, but it was me. I said we, but it was me. Let me tell you, I was working so hard on the college campuses, giving lectures for $1,000 and $1,500. And gee, I went to a college that Leslie Hairston, our councilwoman, was over the black group. I got my biggest check cooking them white people. In Wisconsin. I think I got either $3,500 or $5,000. Now, in those days, man, you get a little check like that, that's big stuff. And the minister, listen to this. I took the money and bought that building. I mortgaged my house. I got to give Imam W.D. Muhammad the credit, because the rumor in Chicago when I came here is that I had a lot of money ripping off the believers in New York. Lying bastards. If I was a thief then, did I get converted now? That everything I have belongs to you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Reverend, my name ain't on this building. Though I told my son-in-law, negotiate with the imam. He came back and said they want $1,275,000. I said, sign the contract. I didn't even have a dime. I said, sign the contract. And in 4 months, it was time for me to either pay up or shut up. And the believers rallied. Money flowing down from the balcony at the Final Call building. I'm just going to run a little history for you. I bought a typesetting machine. And in the basement of my little home that, believe me, Imam W.D. Muhammad, I wouldn't have had a home. But he gave me $50,000 and I put it in Guarantee Bank as a down payment on my house on Damon. I salute my brother. We disagree, but I never became disagreeable with the imam. I truly loved him, and love him. I know he had a work to do. See, he had to prove to you that Orthodox Islam ain't for you. You didn't hear me. Because in the nation, you were at the head of the table. But when you got overseas, you were at the back of the line. Pray like this, dress like this, do like this. And I went right over there and kicked their behind. I'm not lying, I'm not making nothing up. I don't have to do that. They bowed to Elijah Muhammad's scholarship. In Mecca, I was in Mecca treated like a rock star. Police escorting me. Meccan troops escorting me from the King's Hotel to Mecca to make Umrah, then on to Medina. And in Medina, I met the Abuna Sheikh, the Sheikh of all sheikhs. He usually have the rulers and kings downstairs with the goats before he let them up into his. He's a very humble man. He sent for me, brought me into his private quarters where even members of his family don't go. People don't believe that there was a picture of the Abuna Sheikh with Brother Farrakhan. But it's there. He don't take pictures with nobody. He took one with his daughter at one time and then with me. Let me tell you something. The minister was shook up. What? Treating me like this? The Abuna Sheikh, may Allah be pleased with him. He said, I pray for you 500 times a day. I don't know how any man pray that much, but I didn't ask him, how do you do that, you know? But he told me he prays for me 500 times a day. He gave me some words, and I went downstairs to have tea. And there was a little disturbance upstairs because he wanted to give me his cloak and his staff. You didn't hear me. It's the first time his cloak had left the Middle East, and it resides with me. Listen. He sent his cloak and his staff to me. I didn't know what it meant. Naturally, I took it. But he had his son, his successor, take me to my hotel in Medina. And when we got to the lobby, we sat down and I started asking a question, what does this mean? Said it means he's giving you authority. over all his students. Wait. He said, I want you to go to Mecca with me next year for Hajj. Then I can show you the proper respect. Are you listening to me? A year later, he sent his son to find me. And some people acted like they didn't know where I was. So I never made that trip to Mecca with him. But he gave me something that, wait. Oh, you saw it? It's showing up there? Oh. That is, he was 106 years old. Did you know that all of those trips that we made, kings brought me their authority and gave it to me? I'm glad I didn't go by myself so witnesses can bear witness. The Yoruba king left London when he heard I was in Nigeria, and he came to meet me. He's called the Oni of Ife. He gave me his sword. His page walks in front of him with that sword. And when we got to my car, he asked the page, give him the sword. The page didn't know how to respond. He snatched it from the page and put it in my hand. What you are witnessing without ever knowing. See, the prodigal son is coming home. And the prodigal son, the father wanted to give him everything because he was blind, but now he sees. He was dead, but he's alive now forevermore. Now, my son Mustafa was with me in Mecca. Yes, sir. Brother Jabril was with me. Brother Leonard was with me. And for 3 days, we wrangled with the scholars of Radebe, the World Muslim League in Mecca. After 3 days, the teacher that was trying to teach me said to me, I haven't slept in 3 days. I said, I slept very well. What Elijah Muhammad gave us, if we hold on to what he gave us, it is the invincible truth. And look, I want to say something to the President of the United States. And then I'll close my lecture how I wanted to begin it. Allah put Trump in power. So Negroes, Don't let your heart be troubled. All my Hillary family. And you know I love you. I never stopped loving you because you wanted the lying, deceiving, crooked Hillary. And I know you didn't want Trump. I didn't either. But I said some words. I was on Cliff Kelly's show, and I said, if y'all vote for Trump, he'll have you on a rocket ship to hell. The ride is getting a little rough. Got my president up there. Let me tell you something. If you don't know God, you don't see God's hand. How could God ever put that white man in there that's ruining everything? Did you ever stop to think that that's his job? I'm going to point something out to you with God's help, and then I got to finish. I haven't even got started, but I got to finish. Listen to this. Trump said to y'all, you ain't got nothing to lose. Say your education is terrible. You ain't got no jobs. And y'all killing each other. What the hell can you lose by voting for me? I'll just speed it up. Now he's got Mad Dog Mattis and a hell of a cabinet. Notice the shake-up all in the government? Have you ever seen white folks so confused? Well, can't you see that's bringing the man's house down? If Satan casts out Satan, how then can his kingdom stand? Well, Mr. Trump is in a pickle now because Kim Jong-un is working on a ballistic, a missile, nuclear head, and you scared to death? That little Korean man gonna get us all killed. They better bomb him because he crazy. He gonna let that thing go. Well, let me tell you what my teacher told me. Whether you know it or not, America is a preserved area. No bomb gonna fall here because the God got you here, and the white man know he's keeping you a hostage. Because God is after you. Remember that song? My God, He calls me. He calls me by the thunder. I hear him call within my soul. I ain't got long to stay here. Your time to serve these people is up, baby. You're going to have to come up out of here. It's your time now. So, Mr. Trump, I would advise him from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He said, well, if the party that's in power gets back in power, you know what that means. That was the Democrats. And if the other party get in, you should know what that means. The messenger left it up to you to figure out what it means. But, he said, the more you can delay this war, the better it will be for you. So Kim Jong-un may get a nuclear head to put on his ballistic missile, but the God won't let it come here. You are God's people. He said this, listen. He said this area is preserved for him. He gonna take your enemy out in his way. He's not gonna let the Chinese get in on his destructive plan. He said America is number one on his list to be destroyed. I didn't say it. God said it. So says the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Well, how you going to do it, God? He said, well, he don't have no defense against the force of nature. Allah is going to use the wind, the rain, the tornadoes, the hurricane, the fire, hail, sleet, snow. He's whooping America back. And listen, watch it now. This is a message to Mr. Trump. I need to say it to him more personal. I ain't going to no White House or nothing like that. Not that they want me there, but I can get him a message. The God is after America for her evils done to his people. You have a chance to relieve yourself of some of the heaviness of the judgment that's against you by letting my people go. Wait. This is the messenger's teaching. And most of you don't want to leave white folks. You got your little stake in the white man's world. I understand, I really do. But be ready, because he's turning on you. At another time, I will give you more on that, but he's turning, and his hatred is being focused on us. You think that there was some problem in Charlottesville? That was lightweight. Go read your scripture. It said, because they delighted in killing us, God said, I'm going to give you your own blood to drink. And you will be drunk with your own blood as with sweet wine. There's going to be a lot of bloodshed, brother and sister. And that's bringing me to the end of myself. Wait. The way I wanted to start was with Mother Tynetta. Could you put her picture up? 42 years ago, she was at the bedside of Elijah Muhammad at Mercy Hospital. I don't know whether Mother Tynetta knew that he was about to depart from among us for a while. But there he was in the bed at Mercy Hospital, and she was holding his hand.
Niyamuzwa le ndoda ithini? Ukhuluma ngendaba ngicabanga ukuthi bapresentile before. But just nje ngoba sometimes ama black American ba roll ulwimi kakhulu awubezwa kahle. But uyamuzwa le ndoda ithini ukhuluma ngendaba yale Christianity. Le issue akhuluma ngaya yaka Constantine ngiye ngayibheka iqiniso njengoba athi even ne Christianity lesifunda ngayi iBhayibheli twice suke eJerusalem even nase Israel ayiphumi khona lena iphuma eRome yonke le Christianity yanamhlanje yaqanjwa umuntu abambiza uConstantine. Uyambona oclaima ukuthi wayine vision nalo vision ngiyayidoubt wayefuna nje any backup yokuthi mayiconquerish umhlaba abanento azawuma phezukwayo kube ngathi uguidwa uNkulunkulu. So the traditional Christianity noma inkolo yobuKristu esiyazi ngendlela eyiyo namhlanje esifunda ngayo iBhayibhelini is actually not even from Jerusalem, iphuma kulesi sigebengu abathi uConstantine. Abahlala bafila ama gaps kincwadi ayikhona noma iscriptures azikhona bafila igaps. That's why athi yena lenkolo nina nithi niyayilandela ayonkolo even kaJesu Kristu yakamprofeti uJesu inkolo yaseRoma inkolo yaka Constantine. That's why iRoman Church has been the church kwatekudala iyo ibi recognized as the idol church ngoba vele kusho ukuthi kahle kahle nalobo buKristu buqanjwe yibo. Now you go back and ilento enza abantu abazibiza amakholo ababe uncomfortable because abalifuna iqiniso bafuna ukuncika kulento abayaziyo. There's no need for you to stick to what you know if what you know ayiloqiniso. You have to seek the truth. Kakhulukazi mawudila ngendaba yensindiso nenkolo into ebaleke kakhulu. So uma ubheka futhi bona ubuKristu lobo i-question becomes ubani waqala ubuKristu kuthiwa nguJesus Christ. Kodwa uJesus Christ simbona kuphi lapha eqala athi now sesiqala iChristianity. Jesus Christ never started iChristianity. uJesus Christ was a prophet owayithunywe uNkulunkulu ezofundisa abantu ngombuso wezulu nangamaqiniso. Kodwa kukho lapho umbona uJesu ayiqala athi yabona ke manje sizawuqala inkolo ekuthiwa ubuKristu. Azange uJesu aqala inkolo ekuthiwa ubuKristu. Kodwa namhlanje mawubuza ukuthi iqalwe ubani inkolo yobuKristu sonke sophendula vele ngoba kuzothiwa nguJesu. Kodwa uJesu umprofeti uJesu did not start a religion called Christianity. Iqalwe ubani? Iqalwe eRoma i-religion called Christianity. And that is why the religion called Christianity in has so much confusion. Njengoba uNkulunkulu seyisembulele eRevelation eqaleni from ensimini yase-Eden kuthi abantu bebewu2 uAdam noEva bazala uKayini noAbel. Kodwa uKayini wabulala uAbel. Mayiqeda ukumbulala uAbel, uKayini wahamba woganwa kesinye isizwe. Sibuya phi lesi sizwe ngoba nithe abantu bebe u2. Siyayazi phela imaths, i2 yazala 2 baba u4. Njengoba lo mfo nayesho, njengoba kudala ngintitsha. Yakhandwa kahle kahle eRoma. Ikhandwa hayi ngisho nangabantu bomoya. Ikhandwa igebengu oConstantine laba. Befuna nje into ezawuba power yokuthi bakwazi ukujustify izenzo zabo zokunqoba umhlaba. Kube khona into ezaba power. So they iyabona into ekhandiwe ifana necrime. That's why kunama detectives. You can be a criminal wenza icrime uyitshela ukuthi uqedile wena. Ama detective ngabantu abazawuhlanganisa dotted lines. Yilokhu khona ukuthi uboshwe after 1 year, after 2 years wenze icrime, because once you kukhona la uzawumess up khona. Mawusesigebengu kukhona lapho mawuyenza into yakho noba good kangakanani, but kukhona la there will be loose ends. Detective bona bazayihlanganisa until uzoboshwe. Uyayibona nawe lento ukuthi ihlanganisiwe ngenkani ngoba kukhona la ingahlangani khona kodwa iforsiwe. And that's why mawubheka lenkolo ekuthiwa iChristianity akufunwa ubuze kakhulu. Kuyagijinyiswa inkulumo kuvule namaverse awathi do not add, subtract, just believe. Kungena into ezinjalo. That is why abantu abaningi lenkolo ihleli all these centuries and centuries and centuries, because I question. And once you question kuthiwa you are satanic, kunama demon. Phela nawe angeke uzufuna ukuthi ubelong to something after that ma question kuthiwa unama akakho umuntu ofuna ukuthiwa unama demon. Ukhona umuntu ozothanda kuthiwa hayi ubuza kakhulu ngoba unemoya emibi, awufuwa uthandi phela. So then you choose just to follow blindly kodwa ungabuzanga imibuzo. Now we go back to this issue of Christianity, how old it is. Kuthiwa iqalwe nguJesu. uJesu kufika kwakhe wafa wahamba emhlabeni yayingakabikho iChristian. Kuthiwa yaqala angazi after how many years and years and years after uJesu wafa wavuka. So uJesu akuwona umnikazi wayo ngoba phela akusiwuye. Even ngesikhathi ekhona nangesikhathi ehamba emhlabeni lenkolo ibingakaqali. Iqale after uJesu angasekho nobakho. How do you then say uJesu uyi-owner yento eqale ngekho nobakho yena? And by the way, bona ba Constantine laba baphakamisa umbuso, kunombuso especially England owawubuzwa ama crusades. Babe nesiphambano, babethi balwa impi kaNkulunkulu, babethi balwa impi kamoya, babethi mabebulala bathi babulala egameni likaNkulunkulu. Ayayibeka le ndoda le. Uze asho wathi le Christianity thatha umhlaba wenu yanimosha, yaniqeda, yanenza zonke izinto niphiwa leBhayibheli.